Correct. What else do you also have? Stress. You mentioned denial. Well, I won't do it. I can't, because if I renounce, I'll be free. But that kind of renunciation is not renunciation. Do you know why? You are physically moving away, but mentally you have not left it. Real renunciation is in the mind. Of course, many times with addicts or people who are addicted to anything, emotions, food, whatever, in the beginning you have to physically walk away. You have to have that stress. So it's very difficult in the beginning. So if you have an addiction, you have to say, I'm not going near it. In the beginning, you walk away until you get strong. Now, when you get strong, real renunciation is natural. There's no forcing. It's just, I have to let go of this because that's the way it is. There's no agitation in it. There's no denial in it. There's no forcing in it. But that takes time. And the yoga of renunciation means yoga to your higher self. Is when you are totally in connection with that, this is life, good, bad, up, down, pleasure, pain. There's no judgment. There's no friction. It's the way it is. It's a peace that comes with real renunciation. There's no anguish. There's no denial. There's no fight. There's no friction. There is just peace. Renunciation looks like this. Feels like this. You have an attachment to somebody and you have to all the time worry about the person. Let me use your example. Can I use your example? Yeah. Prashanti here was battling with this. She has a grandchild called Byron, and she's fallen in love with the grandchild. It's her only grandchild. So now what happens is she was like getting so attached to the grandchild that she was worried, maybe the child's going to have an accident. Look at my daughter, she's too carefree. Maybe she's not keeping an eye. So she'd go home in her mind and think, oh my God, I'm going to get a phone call. There's going to be an accident. So there was no peace. There was no peace. So last week she came, and 1 week she's managed to do this. She's clever, She came and she said, look, this is, it's taking over my life. I can't sleep, I'm worried, I've got panic, I don't want to do this anymore. So anyway, we had a chat. Anyway, this week she came.
It was quite a chat, by the way.
And this week she came, and there is a difference. The difference is, you can tell them what you said.
That I've been able to, I can enjoy him, but I feel the love's just as much, but I'm not as like this the whole time over him. I can enjoy him and not be, I just think what's going to be is going to be, and let him do what he needs to do and be okay with it. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So in 1 week, and that's real renunciation. Do you see? It naturally falls off. She can be with him. It's not that it's going to be totally over. There will be times when that old feeling will come up. But now that she knows she can do it, it will give her the confidence that she can do it again and again and again and again. But how did she do that? She took something that she was attached to and saw that what she was attached to made her live in pain, worry, and panic. Do you see? And intellectually, she's worked it out that this worry, pain, and panic is not good for me, is not good for my grandchild, is not good for anyone. Then comes selfless service. This inside the soul takes over. If I want everybody around me to be peaceful, then I will renounce that attachment to the child. Because it comes from the highest place, the place of love, the place of service. So there's no denial, there's no fear anymore, there is just an attitude of love. And that's renunciation. So this is just on a human level. So most people think, I want to find my spirit, I want to find God, I'm going to give up everything, no food, no nothing. Well, Buddha tried it, it didn't work. No extremes, it didn't work. Many people go into priesthood and then you find that they're having sex with choir boys, etc., etc., etc. That's denial. Denying who you are. Denying your own energy. You have to go through it in order to let it go. You have to go through the suffering, like she did. The attachment. How much suffering it brings, right? When you're attached to someone, it brings suffering. So that suffering becomes so bad that you say, I don't want, I love you, but I don't want to have this attachment anymore. This personal attachment anymore. And that, when that happens to you, renunciation becomes natural. It's too painful. That's why sometimes when people say they go through so much pain and they worry, I got so much pain because I love this person so much, so much, so much, and then so much pain. I said, don't worry. You'll have come to the point when you have so much pain, you say, you know what? Let it go. I want to let it go. And that's when you get the peace. But while you're holding on to that person and it's got to work this way and it's got to be this, there will always be fear and worry. And your actions will create more actions because you're holding on. You are forcing, you are controlling, you are forcing. And we know in life, the more you try to control someone, the worse it is. You know that, even with your children. They will rebel. When you let them go free, they'll come back. So this is the meaning of real renunciation. So the yoga of renunciation is now Arjuna, the student, the warrior, is asking Krishna about it. So we go to sloka 1. Arjuna asked, you seem to be advising both renunciation of action and the performance of action. Is one better than the other? Now Arjuna is a little confused. He's telling Krishna, he said, 1 minute you're telling us that we should know we're the higher self, that nothing is important, that we should renounce all the actions. Everything is renounced. Then the other time, on the other hand, you're telling me, you're saying, I should do this war. I should perform this action of going into war. Which is better? I don't understand. And isn't this the problem with many of us? Haven't you noticed your greatest battles in life are like that? Should I fight?
Yeah.
Or should I keep quiet?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's always like that.
Yeah.
Should I say something? Shouldn't I? You don't know what to do. Which action to take? And this is the same question that Arjuna is asking. The Lord said, both paths lead to freedom. Of the two, karma yoga, selfless action, is better. Both paths lead to freedom. Eventually, whichever path you decide to take, one day you will be free. Whether you decide, I'm going to renounce everything and go through all the denial and all the pain and all that, it'll take time. But eventually you will get there, because if you give up everything and stay in solitude in time, you will get used to it, right? And the karma yoga path, that means you keep working, keep doing action. But the action you do, whatever you do, whether you fight or you walk away, should come from a place of no selfishness. So maybe, for example, we always use this example of a parent correcting a child when the child does something wrong, right? To the rest of the world, that parent looks, oh, child, don't do that again. Oh, why is she so tough? But to the parent doesn't care what anybody says, or shouldn't. I am teaching my child what's best for my child, not what's best for me. I am telling my child off, not because I want to, but because selflessly, my child is going to get angry with me. But I want my child to be the best they can. Right? So this is the path of karma yoga. You are doing something, good or bad, whatever people think doesn't matter, but you are doing something without me first. I'm doing it for me. This is best for me. Do you see? There is no selfishness in it. So he says that is a good, this path is better. A true renunciate neither hates or desires anything just for himself. Freedom from such dualities of mind brings liberation, Arjuna. A person who is really, really free or renounced will never say, oh, I hate this, or I really want this. They will just feel, yeah, this is not very nice, fine. This is very good, fine. That's a real renunciate. It will not get fixation on anything. There's no addiction. There's no fixation on I have to have this or I don't want this. Both are attachments. Oh, I don't want to see this person because this person, that's also an attachment. Renunciate. You know whether this person comes to my life or not? No problem. There's no bother. There's no energy. There's no like, this thing, I can't see the person, I'm going to get upset, There's none of that. It's just fine. It's natural. And there's peace. There's peace. And the only way there is peace is when you don't take things personally. So like, for example, somebody hurts you. That's why you don't want to see them again. But you say, well, what can we do with life? We all get hurt. We all get used. You know? Some people are horrible to us. What can you do? I'll avoid that person because I don't want to make that person more angry at me when they see me. That will be your attitude, selfless. I will stay away from that person because when they see me, I upset them. But I will not mind if they come into my territory or not. So you become very free because there's no desire to hurt that person. There's no desire for revenge. There's nothing. And that's a real renunciation. Because normally when somebody hurts you, deep inside you want something back to hurt them. You want something not so nice to have. Deep, it's deep, but there's that feeling. And that takes away your peace. When you're free from that, even, when you don't have that feeling in your heart, what can you do? The world is like that. Then peace follows. And that's when you really are renounced. And unlike the wise, those with childish attitudes try to distinguish between the paths of wisdom, jnana yoga, and selfless actions, karma yoga. Whoever becomes well established on either path receives the fruit of both. Here he's saying, people will say, it's like religions and everything, those who are childish, who are not wise, will say, one way is better than the other. Oh, you should do jnana yoga. What is jnana yoga? Jnana yoga is yoga of questioning yourself. Who am I? What am I? What is my place on this earth? It's self-analysis all the time. And many people choose that. They stay and study and do all self, it's all about the intellect. And they learn, they study, they think, who am I, what am I? And that's the path of jnana yoga. The path of karma yoga, more applied by people who are working in the world. You just do things for the sake of the betterment of all humanity. Yes, the last week I was telling people, I said, if you want to pray, many times I hear people when they pray or they ask for things, oh dear God, please make me have this thing, or please can I have this result? I said, that's attachment. And the more you ask for that result, the more stressed you will be if you don't get it. So I tell people, don't pray like that. Please, when you start to pray, please give me that result that will be better for everyone concerned and the highest good for everyone concerned. It's better for everyone concerned and the highest good for everyone concerned. Give me that result. And with that will come the highest good for you. May not be what you expect, but it will be the best thing for you. Sometimes you ask for something and you really want it, you get it, you suffer. Be careful what you ask for, you may get it. I often tell the story of this woman who wanted this big home. Remember that story? She wanted a big home, She drove her husband crazy. He worked so hard. He got her the big home. 2 weeks later, after it was built, in an Arab country, he fell flat and died of a heart attack. That big home became a monster because a young woman in an Arab country all alone living was dangerous. So all that stress, what she wanted, she got. But it wasn't the best thing for her. But she prayed so hard, she got it. That's what they say, visualization, you'll get what you want. But is it really what is the best for you, what you want? Sometimes we don't know what's best for us. So I always say when you pray and when you ask with that renunciation. And that's really difficult to do because you really want to ask for that. You really, really want to ask for you really want that. And don't go there because you get attached. The moment you ask for it, you get attached. Right away the mind will attach. Instead go, the highest good for me and everyone concerned. The highest, give me the clarity. Pray for clarity. Clarity of mind. Give me clarity to see things as they are and not clouded by my emotions. Give me the clarity. And that's how I pray, And even for people, when people are very, very sick and some say, oh, pray that they get better, pray for the best karma available for that person. Sometimes people get better, but then they stay home and they suffer for many, many years and they don't want to be alive. They say, oh, why didn't God take me? Why am I better? I've seen old people do that. So many people pray for you to get better. They're not happy with getting better. They want to die. It's quite sad. I've seen that a lot of times, So pray for the highest good for the person concerned. And if they can, make them better so that they can enjoy the rest of their lives. So they can live the rest of their lives in peace and harmony. See, always make your prayer big and not small. And then you'll be safe from this trap of getting attached to it again, Pray for your grandson's safety, Byron's safety, Byron's safety. Do you see, the more you pray for his safety, the more attached you get to his safety. So the more you're thinking, his safety, his safety, his safety, which means if you're thinking his safety, that means you're fearing something bad's going to happen to him. Do you see, you attach the safety as something good, but what is it? Not really good. Now if she puts on this image, what if he should fall off the road, or the car should run? As you think, you're expanding, right? You're creating a picture there. And you think you're doing something good because you're worried about somebody's safety. But are you really? Is your attachment to that person. So really underneath all this is selfish. Isn't it odd how selfishness creeps in without us even knowing? And we think it's selfless. But selfless is really to allow that person to fall and then stand up by himself or herself. Teaching people to guide in the right way. And that's selfless, because selfish is trying to control every situation the way you want to. So that's real renunciation. It's very hard for human beings to go away from that. We're brought up to make everything want to come our way, our way, our way. And so many times I've seen people, so many times now in the last 20 years, I've seen people think, even in their business, when the business is bad, right? And they keep going, no, but there's a solution. Next season will be better. One season is good, next season is bad, next season is good. And then, in the case of my husband and his own business, it was like that. And I said, darling, I called Gurudev. And I spoke to him, I said, Gurudev, the business up, down, 3 seasons good, 2 seasons bad. Every 3 months it's a worry. And he said, Nalanie, if you plant a seed, and you water it, and you look after it, but it doesn't grow, sometimes life is like that. What should you do? I said, I don't know. I said, plant another seed. And so I told my husband, plant a new one, do something totally different. You're really smart. Go into finance, your brain, you're not a retailer, this is your father's business that he wants you to do, not a retailer. You're great with computers, you're great with numbers. It's like, you can bring, he was so smart. he would, if a computer went wrong, he could just open it out, all the little pieces, and put it together again and fix it. And I go, where did you learn that from? He said, I don't know. He said, I just know how to do it. He was so smart, he could pick up any instrument and play it. Any harmonica, piano, guitar, he could play it. Where did you get it from? Don't know. But he didn't give that gift any energy. Because from childhood, the business, the family business, the family business, the family name. Do you see these things? It's nobody's fault. It's the way life is. We get so stuck and attached that, because we work so hard and we're good people and we're honest people, then it should be, then why shouldn't it work out? But sometimes you can work so hard and you can do all the right things and you can be honest and things don't work. And it's not because you haven't done your best. It means it's time to change. Plant another seed, which is what he did after 28 years. But then he had 5 years to plant the other seed and he died. You see? And his regret was, I wish I didn't take so long to realize it. So I use his story to tell other people, don't make the same mistake. Don't be so attached to, the prayer, this business will go bad, go better, go better, go better, go better, go better, but it just went like this all the time. So be careful, you don't get stuck. Careful you don't get stuck, unlock yourself. So the prayer for clarity and bigger vision, to think out of the box. So what happens is, for example, I was telling you about my husband, so for many years he was focused on the shop, and many opportunities came to his place. Somebody from London called Shanky, why don't you come and work for me? We could use your expertise. Make money, no problems, travel all over the world. No, that's what I should do. Another opportunity, another opportunity, another opportunity. But because the fixation was, I've got to make this work for my family, all the opportunities were not seen. And I see this happen to so many people. This is the only way, this is the only way, this is the only way. And then all these opportunities are coming for them, and I don't see it. Once there was somebody who was looking for a job, and she was only looking for this kind of job, in fashion. She had many skills, many skills. So she said, I want a fashion job. She couldn't get it. And one day somebody offered her, not designing, buying. A job buying clothes and fashion. And she was coming to me and said, I don't want that, I want to design. I said, listen, you've been waiting around for a job to do with fashion for years. Now buying is in fashion. Get your foot into the door or you are going to lose that opportunity. You're looking for something exactly so precise, and this is so close to your precise. Oh no, if I take this job, it means that I won't get the other one. That's coming. I said, you got this one. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Anyway, she took that job. Do you know what? Eventually with the buying, she became the designer. So many times I almost missed it because when your mind is so fixated, you miss the opportunities that come your way. So real renunciation is learning to, if things are not working, let it go, let it go. It doesn't mean you stop working, you still work, you still keep your focus, you still basically know what you're good at, you still keep all that going, and then something will come your way. But don't worry about time, have patience. It will happen when it happens. So here it says, whatever you choose to do, in the end, whether you're analyzing, whether you're a karma yogi, whether you want to serve your higher self with bhakti yoga or love God with all your heart and soul, in the end, they all come to the same place. What are we all looking for? Peace and freedom, right? So you get people in yoga schools and all over the world. This way, my way is better. Jnana Yoga is a better way. No. Karma Yoga. No, you're absolutely wrong. The best way is to be a monk. No, householder. Doesn't matter which way you choose. Householder, monk, intellect, a person who just loves, full of bhakti. Doesn't matter which way you choose. At the end, your goal is the same. Peace and liberation. So it doesn't matter. If that path suits you, some people are thinkers. Some people need to be isolated. Some people need to be in the world. And there's no one way better than the other way. This is an illusion. It's an illusion. Find the way that is best for you. There's no way. All paths lead to the same truth. It's how sincere are you in finding you. So, you see Mataji come, and me too, I get tempted sometimes, I see her, oh my God, what a life of bliss, living in the ashram, just getting up every day, serve, you don't have to think about bills or food or anything, you just serve, maybe I should go there, and then go, no, it's not for me, because my nature is such that I love challenges, and I love the world, and I like to be out in the world, I like to deal with challenges, people who have very difficult backgrounds, and I like to see that they find their peace. In the ashram, I will only get a certain kind of people, So I like the challenge of everyday world, to juggle. It keeps the mind busy. So I go, no, maybe later on, not at this moment. But you sometimes think it's a better way. I'm not sure. And then when you speak to Mataji, you hear about all the pettiness that goes on in all ashrams. They argue which is better, this is here, then I go, oh, you know what? It's the same there, and it's the same here. It's no different. Here, at least I have my independence. I can decide who I want to stay with or not. If I want to be alone, I can. But you're there, you can't. You're stuck with those people forever and ever and ever. And a lot of people, not just one. And I go, no, it's not really any different, So when you become wise, you start to realize, this is a really nice realization as one gets older. And I see more people are realizing, it's best where I am now. Because this is where I'm meant to be. It's best where I am now. Don't think about, should I renounce? The only thing you have to do is, no. Now I'm here. I'm going to love every moment. I'm going to live selflessly for the highest good for all, including myself. You're in that all too. You need to love yourself and care for yourself too. You are there too. Don't say all and then say I should suffer, which is a bit ridiculous. If you suffer, what's the point of your life? There's already enough suffering in the world. You don't want more. You don't even have to ask for more. There is enough. So this is, here it's telling you, when you're really wise, there's no difference. No difference. The state of true renunciation is hard to reach, Arjuna. Without karma yoga, the performance of selfless actions which purify the mind. Now, here he's saying, it's very hard to just tear yourself, denial, away. Very hard to just do it like that. Much easier through doing karma yoga. Doing actions without expecting anything in return. Why? Because it's a training ground. You are training when you're doing karma yoga. In the olden days, when they used to learn spiritual knowledge, all these kings, sons, etc. would go to what they call a gurukulam. A gurukulam is where very few select people those days were given this kind of knowledge, spiritual knowledge. And many people went there so that they could be the best rulers and the best kings or the best ministers so that they can serve well the country. Because that was selfless. They did their spiritual study so that they could selflessly serve their country. So many of them, when they would go, of course, because they come from high positions, etc., they would go to the guru, and the guru would say, Guru, what can we do? What can we learn? What scripture can you teach us? And the guru would say, Well, go to the kitchen and cook. Learn to cook for everyone. Oh, but I'm a king, I want this, how can I cook? If you believe we're all the same and you really want to serve everyone, then what is the loneliness of cooking for somebody else? Why is it up and down, better or worse? So through the karma yoga, learning to cook, one becomes humble and sees the work of cooking for a king as a greatness to feed people. Then you see through the work, then you get knowledge through work. You get knowledge through work. For example, Shanti, when we first had the yoga center, remember? Many years ago, we said, we'll all do karma yoga, which is what we do. We clean the hall, when we in Gibraltar this was, and we clean the bathrooms. So the first thing she said, I never clean bathrooms. I said, what? How old were you? 30-something at that time. Very young, just very young. And I go, what? She says, I never clean bathrooms. I've come here to do yoga, not clean bathrooms. I'll do something else. So I said, no, Shanti, I'm sorry. You want to stay here? You do bathrooms. Do you know what? She did it. She's the best bathroom cleaner I know. And now she's promoted. She doesn't need to do that anymore. Sometimes when I see her doing that, I say, why are you cleaning the bathroom? Let somebody else do it. You already don't mind doing it anymore. You don't need to do it now. You've learned. And now she tells people how to clean it, whether it's gloved, I said, whoa, she's really an expert. But through karma yoga, she learned humility. Of course, and that prepares you for the future, going like when we go to India, the way they live, the poor places we go to, the toilets are so dirty. All that was preparation for real life. Because some of the places we went were really quite dirty, and you have to clean really dirty toilets, not a clean toilet that just needs to be sparkling. Is it really dirty, and you have to really get used to it. So it prepares you to face the world as it is. That's what karma yoga does. It's reality. And then when you go there, when we went 34 of us to India, we had a ball. We had a ball because the last stop was the best hotel. You know, we stayed there the last day, and everybody was, when we go home, we're going to be so grateful for our bath. And not to have black feet, because, all the time our feet were black, right? Oh, because we were going to temples barefooted, going to different places barefoot, because you have to. And it's yucky, the ground's not clean. So, all this prepares you to face the world and just live in the world. And then you start laughing, dirty, clean, who knows, it's all an adventure. So in the old days, that's what they used to tell people to do, karma yoga. And with the karma yoga, they would grow into selfless service and understood how to serve the whole country. And of course, understand the job of each one, how each one is an individual. Now, when I first studied the Gita, I remember I had a very incredible realization myself many years ago when I first started to read the Gita about renunciation. I was quite judgmental, quite snobbish, in a way. People used to collect the garbage every morning at 5:30. I used to hear them shouting and screaming, collecting the garbage. I said, horrible people, what rough people, disgusting. And then when I started to study yoga, one day at 5:30 in the morning, I heard them, and I looked out of the window. It was freezing cold. I saw these workmen carrying this awful garbage. In those days, their trucks weren't like they are now, much easier. They used to a lot by hand, and some would fall over them. Ugh. Nowadays, they have much better machinery. I'm talking about, 20 years ago. And I watched them, and I burst out crying because I had a realization. These guys go out in the cold. Okay, they're rough, they're dirty, they're rude, they swear, but they do more karma yoga than I do. Without them, our streets would be littered, we would have disease. Who's doing a better job? Who's saving more people? Okay, they're getting paid for it, they don't even know they're doing it. Besides the point, could I ever do a job like that? No. After that, I'd go down early in the morning and look after them and speak to them as the great saints. It was a great realization for me. That we don't know what is better, what is worse, who does what. We don't even notice. So many things are being done for us all the time. We don't even appreciate it. I was complaining. So that was one of my realizations that really shifted my consciousness. It really shifted my consciousness. Without those people, we'd be full of disease everywhere. Get up at 5 in the morning. You have to have quite a character to smell the stench of rubbish early in the morning. Oh, God bless them. God bless all those rubbish collectors. God bless them. And that's all I could think after that. So it's quite an awakening. The state of true renunciation, I've done that. Anyone who meditates regularly with a mind made pure by karma yoga soon realizes God. You see, when you have these kind of realizations, you see karma yoga in the world, and you see how many people do things selflessly. What happens? You get a realization. You start to realize there's something greater than we all know. And as the mind becomes pure through karma yoga and well disciplined through meditation, the senses quiet down and you see that your own self is none other than Atman. At that point, you are no longer subject to karma. As your mind becomes pure through karma yoga, as you become pure and pure through your work, and well disciplined through meditation, the senses quiet down. Everything stops screaming at you. I need, I want, I have to eat this food in order to be satisfied. I have to hear this music in order to be happy. I have to see this person, otherwise I'll die. All these senses. Oh, I need to touch, all these senses start to quiet down by themselves. By themselves. When you just practice like that. And then when you quiet it down, what happens? You see who you really are. And you see that you are the soul living in the body. And once you see that, then you know nothing can affect you. It may look like things are affecting you, but you deep inside come from a very strong place. And I'll finish with that sloka today. And I would like us today, I think if you don't mind, is we're going to do some work